in the post with my wingman Bird here on a Saturday evening.
Fight night.
Beautiful fight night. We got the return of McGregor. It's McGregor.
It's McGregor. Let's see what he's going to do. I want him to lose.
My brother's been jumping up and down about this fight for 2 weeks on Instagram, posting something every day about it. So I know there's millions of people tuning in around the world. We're going to be watching shortly. So we're going to be talking about a lot of sports. My last episode was with my childhood buddy Mo, who Berg met last weekend. Awesome episode. But we skipped out on all the sports stuff that happened. James Harden lost 20 pounds and is in Brooklyn.
Yeah. He took his fat suit off and let the world know he's still here.
Good. He's looking
good.
He
let the world know he's still here.
But the Nets are not. They lost back-to-back games against the Cavs.
I don't care.
We'll get into that in a minute.
I don't care.
Let's go ahead and get into the fight night predictions. You think McGregor's going to do it?
No.
You think he's going to get beat? He was looking nice in the weigh-ins.
It looks nice in the weigh-ins, but when you get in the ring, I think I just want McGregor to lose.
Really? You don't like him?
I just think he can be beat. I just think this guy is hungrier than McGregor is. McGregor just beat him. You think the guy that he just beat gonna want to go in the ring to get beat again by the same person? This may be the end of that person's career.
With me, I usually don't like guys that brag and boast and are loud and talk more than what they do. But when it comes to certain athletes that can talk the most and back it up, like Chad Johnson is an example.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I don't like those guys, the guys that talk all the trash. I'm not a big fan of Juju on TikTok dancing and doing all that crap because he doesn't really back it up every game.
What about Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather?
That's what I'm saying. Those are the guys that not just me, but the general public tends to like because you want to see that guy get beat up, but it doesn't happen.
I never wanted to see Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali get beat up. Or Mike Tyson.
I was actually pulling for McGregor against Mayweather just because that's crazy.
That's because, I wasn't pulling for him and didn't think he would win. You got in a boxing ring with, could be quote unquote the greatest boxer ever.
I didn't think he would win either, but I'm a fan of an underdog too. And like I said, he's one of the. But I like Floyd too.
You're a fan of the underdog, you would take the other guy against McGregor tonight.
No, because McGregor already won me over with his style, his charisma, and his
arrogance.
His arrogance. But it's not everyone's arrogance, like chosen arrogance.
It depends on. I feel like it depends on how you feel about the person.
Yeah.
Because arrogance is arrogance.
I'm sure I wouldn't like him as much in person, but watching him destroy people verbally at these press conferences, I like it. It brings. Obviously, he's the most sought after fight in MMA.
I mean, he's a good fighter. I mean, no one could ever, negate that.
It's not even just the fight; it's the show that comes with it.
I think so too.
It's
the show you're gonna get from Floyd Mayweather because from
Floyd and McGregor,
Conor,
they're both the same animal
exactly.
in a way. Yeah, I'm looking
Muhammad
forward to
Ali.
it.
He has that same type of appeal that all of the great ones had. That talked all of it because Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather. They're all of these guys. These are my favorites. Now I'm not negating Sugar Ray Leonard, and all of these other people that were great fighters. But the ones that were flamboyant and boisterous that I liked were those three.
Mm-hmm.
So
even Deontay Wilder, the guy today, he's that guy today.
To this day.
Yeah. Hey.
I can't believe he lost that fight that night.
There's a video of him getting into an altercation with a guy named Charlie Z. You've seen that?
No.
It was years ago, before Deontay blew up. This guy named Charlie Z, he's a guy, like a little Russian guy. I don't know what he is, but he's skinnier than me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he'll find the cell phone numbers of these guys and call them up and leave them voicemails saying, "You're not the real champ. I want to meet you at this gym at this time. Be there. Be square."
Okay, wow.
And Deontay met him and beat his head in front of video cameras and all that, and it was funny. It's worth a watch. Deontay Wilder, Charlie Z on YouTube. Fight night predictions. I'm gonna say McGregor in second round. I think it's gonna happen pretty big time. I'm looking for something spectacular.
Fight night predictions for me. I can beat Conor McGregor, so I don't want to hear that. I wore my fight night shirt tonight.
That's a different story.
Conor McGregor don't test me. But anyway,
give him a vegan salad and some protein powder. He'll punch McGregor's
give me
head
a big old salad with a bunch of good meat in it. Okay, but anyway, I have my Conor McGregor losing.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is the end of Conor McGregor's career after he loses this fight.
No.
It's over.
He's already saying he's going to have like 7 fights this year.
He's getting... Okay, he's saying that. Okay, if he's saying that, I will say this. He gets knocked out in this fight. And he comes back for a couple more fights because he gets knocked out. The same arrogance in him. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He gets knocked out tonight. Conor McGregor, remember where you heard it first, will get knocked out tonight.
All right. I don't know when I'm going to get this uploaded because we got the fight to watch on the laptop.
Regardless of that.
So we're just getting this out into the air, what we think is going to happen. I don't know if this is going to be uploaded by the
our
NFL
predictions.
Football games, all that. I don't know if this will be uploaded by Sunday when the games kick on. But either way, we're getting our opinion out there, what we think is going to happen. So judge us off of that.
Today is what?
Saturday, 23rd.
January 23rd, 2021.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor will get knocked out tonight.
McGregor's back.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. My opinion, he gets knocked out.
I got McGregor in the second. All right. On to basketball.
DDT his ass. But nah, basketball.
So last night, Luka Doncic had 19 points at the end of the first quarter alone. And I said earlier that Steph is my MVP pick, and it's really hard to go away from that, but I wish I would have said Luka because I think Luka's going to win it.
It's very hard to tell right now because if Steph carries the Golden State Warriors further in the Western Conference than Luka does, how can you go away from Steph?
Right now, the Warriors aren't even making the playoffs.
Right now. I mean, but at the same time, you still have to worry about, quote unquote, the king, LeBron James.
I'm not worried about it.
You should be if you're talking about MVP because look at what he's doing at his age. Still, he's performing at an elite level. Look at what he's doing. Luka ain't going to be able to keep up. I'm going to tell you why Luka's not going to be able to keep up. Because he has to do everything for that team. And that's going to be too much on his body.
The unicorn's back.
Not enough. You know what you're dealing with when it comes to LeBron and the Lakers? And even if, let's just say
I'm not
KD
saying they can beat him in the playoffs. I'm saying he could beat him out in MVP.
At MVP votes. And that's possible. But I still, at this point, don't believe nobody's going to beat out LeBron for the... I mean, look at the people. You look at the numbers and look at what he's doing, man. Still, at this time.
So, right now, you're saying LeBron MVP?
Yes. As of today, LeBron MVP.
I'm saying Luka, but in my heart, I want it to be Steph.
Luka is definitely my number 2, but you know my heart. I want Steph to bring it back. Mm-hmm. I want Steph to win the finals, but I still got Brooklyn and the Lakers in the finals. You understand what I'm saying?
That's my next thing. What are your thoughts on Brooklyn? They lost to Cleveland by 12 in double overtime the other day. Colin Sexton had a tremendous outing, scored the last 20 for the Cavs. He had 42 overall. The Nets didn't have a bad game. KD had 38, Kyrie had 37, Harden had a 21-point triple-double, and they still lost in double overtime. That was the first game against the Cavs. Second game, Kevin Durant didn't play. His Achilles was sore. But still, they lost again.
Don't care.
Can they get things together to have like a 1-2 seed?
Remember where you heard it first? I still think they will be in the Eastern Conference Finals for sure.
Brooklyn's 9-8 right now.
Don't care.
It's a shortened season.
Don't care.
That's gonna be a big difference in the seeding at the end.
It doesn't. If you see them at a 5 or a 6, that's even worse. If you think about it.
It depends on what the East ends up as.
I don't see nobody in the East but Philadelphia giving them an issue.
Bucks.
Don't see them. Not when they get in tune. You're talking about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and James Harden that are just now coming together within this 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the first week of play between these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get a definite determination off of what they're going to bring in the playoffs, because they're going to make it to the playoffs in the East. It doesn't matter if they make the 8th seed.
To me, those back-to-back losses to Cleveland made me happy. I want to see the success of the Nets, but it made me happy in terms of just like when UNC loses, a piece of me is happy because I know that Roy is going to rip them the next morning.
You know that they're going to be talked about on ESPN.
Kyrie's mad right now.
You know they're going to be talked about. So that you look at what you feed in these beasts. You're talking about 3 MVPs.
Kyrie's mad.
You're talking about 3 MVPs. You think they're not going to come for anybody? And what is Philadelphia's record? Who's number 1 in the East right now?
Philly.
What's their record?
10-5.
And what's Brooklyn's record?
9-8.
That's not a...
Oh no, we're just starting out.
Okay.
But it's a shortened season because of COVID. We're not playing 82. We're playing 72 games.
Don't care.
We're already a quarter into the season.
The East can beat Brooklyn Nets in a 7-game series with a Kyrie, a Kevin Durant, and a James Harden healthy.
It is starting to straighten out in the East. The past few episodes we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some disruption in the standings. Normally not what it is. It's starting to straighten back out to normal. The only thing that stands out is the Pacers are number 2 at 9-6.
I don't care about that right now.
They're just a strong defensive team. They're like what the Detroit Pistons were, but not quite. They don't have a Ben Wallace.
They're not going to be able to put up enough points to be able to handle the Brooklyn Nets.
They're just a defensive strong team that wins close basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia is number 1 at 10-5. Pacers number 2 at 9-6. Bucks number 3 at 9-6. Boston number 4 at 8-6. Brooklyn, I don't think they're going to finish top 2. I think it'll be Philly Bucks at 1 and 2 finishing in the East with Brooklyn at the number 3 spot.
I don't care where they finish at the end of the regular season.
They're just going to be there when it matters.
When it comes to the 7-game series and when it comes to the playoffs, they're going to be there.
That was pretty embarrassing for them to lose back-to-back to Cleveland.
Of course it's embarrassing.
Specifically because 2 reasons. They just traded Jared Allen to Cleveland, and Jared Allen balled out. He dunked on somebody. I forget who it was.
That's giving him a reason to ball out.
And not only that, but that was the first reason. The second reason is that was where, obviously, Kyrie was drafted. He left. He's been pouting around and moaning and groaning the past couple of weeks. His first game back, he gets dropped off by his old team, and a young bull dropped 42 on his head. The last 20 points of the Cavs was scored by Colin Sexton. Not all of them were on Kyrie, but
don't care.
The majority of them. I mean, that's his responsibility. He got dropped off.
If it comes to a 7-game series for the Brooklyn Nets and the Cavaliers in the playoffs, I'm still going to take
You're definitely
Brooklyn.
right.
And at the same time, look at the timing of what's going on with this. They're just now getting over all of the talk with Kyrie and James having a fat suit and all of those Houston, debuts. But when it all comes down to it, no one is gonna beat the Brooklyn Nets in a 7-game series.
I need him to straighten out and act right.
I don't care as long as when I draft him on my fantasy team, when I put the fantasy in, make my fantasy points high.
In the West, as of today, the 23rd of January, I think there's a lot of moving around still to be done in the West. As of today, standings are number 1, Clippers, 12-4, Lakers 12-4 at number 2. Got the Jazz at number 3, 11-4. Got the Suns next, 8-6. Blazers 8-6. Grizz 7-6. Nobody likes Grayson Allen. Dallas at number 7, 8-7. Number 8 is Denver, and that's where the cut is. The 8 teams that would make the playoffs. So these following teams would miss out on the playoffs. The Warriors at 8-7. Spurs 8-8. Oklahoma City 6-8, Kings 6-8, Pelicans 5-9, Rockets 5-9, T-Wolves 3-11.
I do believe if Clay's not able to play this year, that the Warriors could probably creep in on a 7 or a 6 seed, but I see him as the 8 seed. But at the same time, you cannot count Steph and the Warriors out. They still can possibly beat you in a 7-game series. That's the difference. There's a big difference when you just play a team in the regular season. Even coaching is different in the regular season.
So, what I wrote down, I think most of those teams that are in the cut as of right now are going to remain in the cut. It's going to be some moving around. The Grizz right now are at the 6th or 7th? The Grizz right now are at the 6th seed at 7-6. I have them dropping all the way out. They're not going to make the playoffs. The Warriors are going to be the out to take their place in the current standings. What I think. So my final cut, hear me out. I got the Suns going on a run and finishing second in the West, behind the Lakers. Lakers 1, Suns 2, Clippers 3, Blazers 4. I got the Blazers turning it on too.
Let's go Melo.
And I think Damian's going to be like a top 5 MVP selection.
Let's go both of them. Dame Dollars. I just listened to his new track today.
I got the Warriors going all the way up to 5. They got some growing to do, even with Wiggins in the mix and Wiseman.
I'm with you.
There's a lot of talent growing in
I'm not down there.
Golden State. I got 6 Utah Jazz, 7 Dallas Mavericks, 8 Nuggets. That's probably the strongest 8 seed that's ever been in the playoffs. This freaking 8 seed Nuggets team, if that happens, or an 8 seed Dallas team. That's dumb tough.
That's the West is so strong.
The West is
so strong. It's hard to.
So, missing in the playoffs are the Grizzlies, Spurs, Pelicans, Rockets, Kings, T-Wolves. Lonzo.
I see the Clippers taking a slide.
Clippers going down.
I see them taking a slide.
That pickup of Ibaka was pretty big.
It was, but at the same time, when the heat is on, I don't think they could be able to compete with what we got going on in the Western Conference.
I differ. I think Kawhi's that good.
I think Kawhi is that good, but I don't think Paul George is that adding feature to Kawhi.
That's correct. I wish he had a different piece around him. But I think Kawhi's enough to beat. I mean, not every team.
You think Kawhi is good enough to stay in a 3 seed in a strong Western Conference like that?
Yep. And Kawhi's good enough. Kawhi's good enough to beat Utah in a 7-game series. He's good enough to beat Dallas in a 7-game series.
I don't agree.
Compete. And he's good enough.
I don't agree. I don't think Kawhi could beat Dallas in a 7-game series. With the unicorn back?
Yeah.
No, I don't see it. For one, I think Luka is better than Kawhi.
He is. But Kawhi, I've seen specific games where he cuts it on, and it's pretty next level.
And I like Kawhi, but when it comes to the NBA, when it comes to the basketball,
consistency is not there.
I think
Luka's there every night.
He's there every night.
Every game.
Just like my guy Draymond Green. Big up. That's why I love him the most.
But Draymond,
he's there every night.
But his numbers aren't.
Regardless of the numbers, he gives you the same energy every night. That's what I care about. I don't care if you're missing a bunch of shots or stuff happens. You give the same energy that team pays you to give them every night. That's a big plus. And he gives you that every night. I mean, but just like Luka. Luka has his down games now where he needs some supporting cast, and that's why Dallas is going to lose, because his supporting cast isn't there. Other than the unicorn,
they got Hardaway, and they got Josh Richardson, who's hurt, and he got sent there from the trade with Philly.
Okay.
He's still to come. And another addition to that. And really,
but I mean,
they don't have a big like that, other than Porzingis. They got Boban, but he's on the bench. It's just for show.
So you're really just talking about the Porzingis and Luka, to be honest. Hardaway as your third. That's your big three in Dallas. Hardaway, Luka, and Porzingis.
Josh Richardson when he gets healthy.
But he's not healthy right now.
Right. But that's what I got happening in the West. The West is going to be very competitive, more so than ever probably. I know a lot of people left the West. Katie left the West. Russ left the West. But still, this is probably the most
I don't care. I'm tired of all the disrespect to Russell Westbrook. I ain't gonna front, though. He really don't got no jump shot.
Yeah, that's pretty broke. I've seen him play a lot in person.
Great player.
He's amazing to watch.
He's amazing to watch, I would imagine. Never seen him live.
Bulldog. Man. I was at the game that his first game back in Oklahoma City after he got traded to the Rockets. And the fans, I thought they were going to boo him and, throw hot dogs at him and stuff. But no, they loved him, showed him the love he deserved.
Why would you boo somebody like that that's brought so much energy?
And Oklahoma isn't known for the nicest fans in the world.
I agree with that because, I mean, how could you be known for the nicest fans in the world when there's nothing in Oklahoma when you
they're pretty bitter when their guy leaves. Yeah,
I get it.
But that's my cut. What I think, pretty early into the season, about 15.
I mean, a lot of it I agree with. I agree with the Lakers being number 1 and the Suns being number 2. Don't agree with the Clippers being number 3.
But right now they're number 1 with the Lakers at 12-4.
We haven't even had the All-Star break. Yes, the season is shorter, but we haven't even had the break yet to where teams start really taking it seriously. Mm. You understand what I'm saying? I see the Blazers jumping over the Clippers immediately, to be honest with you. That 3-4 change that you got right there, I think will change at least that. And I got Phoenix pushing up.
Chris Paul, I'm not the biggest fan of Chris Paul, like I said in previous episodes, but he does add a lot to that young Phoenix
to any team.
Yeah.
To any team
and I'm
he
waiting
plays
for DeAndre Ayton to wake up.
He woke up. Did you not see what he did
last night? I saw him the other day, but
like
I'm saying, consistency. He'll just be trotting down the floor and act like he's in gaga goo land, and then he'll snap into it, 3 possessions later. I see the same thing in Ben Simmons. I see the same thing in a lot of guys. They could assert themselves a little more with what the body that
I can't say that. I'm not the type of person that could say that because I'm not the one running up and down the floor getting beat up on and doing the play. So I can't say how much more you need to run up and down the floor.
I'm a wet cigarette. Look at me. But I see, I wanted Ben Simmons to be great. I wanted him to be the next Magic Johnson. That's why I don't like him, because I recorded all of his games in college and I saw him not even putting out. Like, he doesn't even freaking try. So, I don't know. That's just my thing. You got to try. But I am waiting on DeAndre Ayton to do something. I think he's going to be a really good big in this league. We need to talk some football.
Yes.
Like I said,
let's go.
This is probably not going to be uploaded in time before the games start, but we just want to be on record. Like I said, this is Saturday night. The games are tomorrow. NFC and AFC championship games. We got the Bucks against the Packers in the NFC, and the AFC is the Bills Chiefs. We already talked about it, and I wrote it down what we said last night. The Bucks with no AB this week. My prediction is Bucks win a close one, 34-31. Just because when all signs are against Tom, that's not good for the opposing program. I'm a believer in Tom Brady until proven otherwise.
I don't think the signs are not against Tom. I think the signs are with him. I think everything is going in his favor. How is it not?
They got to play in Green Bay. It's going to be brick outside. He's been staying at the beach in Tampa Bay. He's not used to the
You play 16 games a season. At least 8 of those games are away, which means you've played the game in the season. You've been in the league for 85 years as Tom Brady. So you've played in the snow in New England.
But it's at Lambeau Field. That's what
home field advantage. Especially with COVID and hardly any fans. It's not. With no AB, it's still pointed in Tom Brady's favor because it's Tom Brady. It's still pointed in his favor.
The Bucs secondary is pretty lackluster.
Green Bay has. Come on now, you're talking about defense. Green Bay has a 30 times lesser defense than Tampa Bay.
No, AB,
they're way worse.
No, AB hurts. That hurts me. I want to see AB.
No, not with Gronkowski, Cameron Brate, what's
Godwin
the kid?
And Evans.
Godwin, Edmonds. What's the other little kid? Miller?
Yeah, Scotty.
Come on, how are you?
Because I like AB. That's it.
That's just it. Okay.
So I got 34-31 Bucks. Close one. You said 30-something, 20-something Bucks. You got the Bucks too?
I got the Bucks winning by more than 3 points.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Bills Chiefs. I got Chiefs in a blowout. 41-28. Mahomes 5 touchdowns responsible is what I'm saying.
I have the Buffalo Bills making it a close game. And if Patrick Mahomes goes down again, Buffalo wins for sure. But I got Buffalo winning because I've been riding with them for the last
month.
At least. I've been saying they are going to make a Super Bowl run because they are that good on both sides of the ball to where they can possibly win this game. So I'm going with Buffalo with a 3-point game, winning by a field goal at the end. But if Patrick Mahomes goes down, Buffalo wins convincingly.
All right, so we're both on the same side of the fence with the Bucks. Different with the Chiefs-Bills. I got Chiefs in a blowout. You got Bills possibly by blowout if Mahomes is 100%. And that's all I got wrote down. We were having an interesting conversation just outside. Our top 5 actors of all time. This is a weird turn of the podcast, but I thought it would be cool to talk about good material. I had Al Pacino as my number 1. I had Samuel L. Jackson, my number 2. Joe Pesci, my number 3. Denzel, number 4. And Heath Ledger, number 5. What were yours, Berg?
In no specific order, I know I had Denzel, Will Smith, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
But up next, I'm going to bring Will Smith out of there and the Denzel and Samuel out of there because they're now doing other things and directing. They're not doing the mini movies. No, Michael B. Jordan is up next. Michael B. Jordan, and rest in peace. If Chadwick Boseman would not have passed away, he would be probably the biggest to take over within the next decade. But he happened to pass away. Now,
that's tough for me to say that Michael B. Jordan's in that upper echelon, just because I don't have trust that the upcoming movies are gonna be as good as the movies of past. Just because I love some of these movies, or the actors I named are in. And I don't love any of Michael B. Jordan's movies like that. I mean,
your opinion.
Black Panther was great, but and Creed was good, but it's not like a Goodfellas or it's to each his own.
Tremendous opinion. This is an opinion related show. So,
do you think the future of Michael B. Jordan's movies will be like a
Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Or Will Smith? Yes, I do. I do 100%. I do.
Fair enough. I'd like to see him.
He's a great actor. Like, he covers, like, his range is there
have a range of different roles.
His range is there.
Yeah, that needs to happen. Time will tell. What's your favorite Samuel L. Jackson role?
Wow.
Tough, isn't it?
I don't know. I like him in so many. Pulp Fiction is definitely one of the ones. Black Snake Moan, because of the range and what he was able to do in that movie.
I haven't thought of that. There's such a strong part in that movie.
That movie was... The acting in that movie was incredible.
The music in the movie.
That's right.
He pulls out the guitar.
That's right.
And the power goes out, and then it cranks back up, and he starts singing again. And you're like, oh!
That's right.
That's strong.
Come on. And then Unbreakable is one of them.
Which one's that?
The one where he has, like, he's real fragile or some shit.
Oh no, I guess I ain't seen
like
that.
It's big. Yeah, that's a real crazy movie. He has several of them. I mean, he's in so many different. The thing about it, his parts in so many different movies are so. Even if they're small parts, like the Lethal Weapon movies that he's in. Django. They're so strong as an actor.
Killer part.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Every movie he plays in, his part is known, whether it's 2, 3, 5 minutes or the whole movie.
Him singing "In the Sweet By and By" in Django. In the sweet by and by.
I thought it was fun.
Dude, great part. You know. What's your favorite Denzel? Training Day?
Without a doubt.
King Kong at the end?
Nah, not King Kong. Just the whole movie itself.
To me, that was what got me. Was King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Nah, that ain't got shit on. I pardon that, but no, that was the most unrealistic part I've ever seen. That was a part of the movie to me. So that kind of was not my favorite part. Like, that wasn't realistic. King Kong ain't got shit on me. You in the hood. You know where you at. You know where he was at when they was filming that. King Kong ain't got shit on me. They could have smoked him. They let him live.
I think it was the conviction in which he said it, and
nobody cared,
dude.
In real life, the thing about when I look at stuff, I try to configure it into real life. The real life part of that was, what are you saying? You just let the white kid beat you up all over the whole place, and you talking about King Kong ain't got shit on you? Think about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Think about it.
I love the script though. Great writing.
I mean, hands down, great movie. My favorite.
Great writing.
You know,
my favorite Denzel is Remember the Titans for sure.
The thing about with guys like Denzel and Will Smith and Samuel, it's hard to say a favorite movie. It's too hard.
I told you Heath Ledger's in my list just for Batman, The Dark Knight.
But that's the only thing most people are gonna see when they see Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
But he done such an incredible job in that movie. It's unforgettable.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the deepest of any character I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one? What was the one that you had De Niro. I didn't put De Niro in mine just because I love Goodfellas and a lot of movies he's in. Irishman. There's been a ton, but so many movies that he's been in that I didn't like.
Man, De Niro, you gotta put De Niro. I mean,
I love him in Goodfellas. He's tremendous in Goodfellas, but I love Pesci a little bit more.
De Niro, especially in Heat. You know, I told you Heat's one of my favorite movies.
Casino.
Heat is a little different. Casino's more old-fashioned Italian mob. Heat is
it's
more
like New York police. Or,
not New York police, but New York gang. You know, we're gonna rob the, bank truck. Bank, it's a little different. You know what I mean? So Heat was definitely more influential than. But Casino, don't get it twisted. I've mentioned Casino to you how many times?
Yeah.
One of my favorites. For, De Niro. You got De Niro.
They had the
Pesci
comedian Don Rickles.
And Don, all of them in there.
Yeah. And that's just a conversation we were just having about 15 minutes before we started recording. So I wanted to go ahead and throw that on here as like a cap for the episode.
But if you want to, comment or say who you think your best movies are, or who you feel like...
what movies? We'll go ahead and give them a top three. I'll think about it for a minute. What's your
mine?
top three? Yeah, movies.
In no specific order, Heat is definitely in there. Belly is in there. I gotta put Belly in there. Sorry. The acting, the first one. Belly one with X-Nas, the whole team, T-Boz, My third one is Titanic.
I'm not gonna judge you. I like Titanic.
I gotta go with Titanic because even though it was a long ass movie, it was a good movie, and it's one that I will never forget.
I like the Notebook. Well, I can't front.
It was one movie I will never forget. The Titanic, even though it was mad corny, it was just something that stuck with me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying about that movie. It was a great movie. Those are just some of my personal favorites. But if you want to go back to the 80s and 90s, the Back to the Future trilogies, my complete favorite, wholeheartedly. I mean, but there are several, I can't.
I'm gonna say,
I got a different way of thinking when it comes to movies. So, I'm gonna go into Shatas and.
I base it off of a movie that I could watch every night and not get bored with it. I've seen Goodfellas at least 50 plus times. I've seen Blade, the first Blade with Wesley Snipes, at least probably 100. And the movie I've seen the most in my life is Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Rock and Chris Farley. That's a lesser known movie, but one of the best comedies ever to me.
But you know what? Now that you bring that up, when we're talking about some of the greatest actors, we can't leave Wesley Snipes out of the category.
He's
Look
not
at the
in
range.
that. He's
Blade.
not in that.
Like, I really think you haven't seen a whole bunch of Wesley Snipes movies because he has some secret movies in the cut. Have you seen the movie with him and Sanaa Lathan? You know who Sanaa Lathan is? The woman from Love and Basketball with Mike Epps?
Yeah.
That played basketball?
Yeah.
She was.
I don't know that was her name.
Yeah, Sanaa Lathan. She has a movie with Wesley Snipes. Great movie. A lot of people don't know about it though. But because it was one of only those movies that hit in the black community.
Man, He does have great range. I was sitting here thinking
he's got great range.
I mean, obviously,
Blade. He's played a woman in some movie. I've never seen the movie, but it was like 2 or 3 of them dudes dressed like women or some shit.
He's in Dolomite. He has a knockout part in Dolomite. My favorite actor in Dolomite.
Come on.
Yep.
He's got hella range.
You're right. But still, I don't put him with Pacino and Denzel. And
I put him right up under there. Only reason I put him right up under there is because when he got that tax stuff going on, it kind of paralleled him and having to go. Yeah, because it put his career on hold when the rest of those actors were continually going.
If he would have had one more big role, like maybe like a Morpheus in the Matrix.
He went to prison right with the Blade stuff was going on.
Yeah, I know.
So you got to understand, it was at its peak.
How long was he in prison? Do you know?
He only did like a year, but you got to understand when it comes to when shit like that happens, you're buried at that point.
You're how people view you.
You're buried.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in a movie since.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Because I'm not kidding. Blade. From like junior high on.
But he's about to be in the newest Coming America.
That's
Part
good.
2.
Needs to be.
I can't wait.
Needs to be.
I can't wait.
That's good. I bet that that relationship probably unfolded during the Dolomite filming.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Eddie. Then yeah, that needs to be. That's gonna be good.
I can't wait.
So yeah, we're movie people. We're music people. Our music taste is different. I'm
an 80s baby. We the best. He's a 90s baby. Nothing else needs to be said about that. There's a difference.
But I'm an old soul. I listen to Led Zeppelin all the time. They're from
but you're talking about Led Zeppelin. You're not talking about hip hop. It's a difference.
Oh, I listen to hip hop. When it comes
to, do you know who DJ K Slay is?
K Slay? Is he on SoundCloud or something? He got a face tattoo? No, I don't know no K Slay.
Exactly. Do you know who? Let me see. I'm gonna name an artist that was great. Grand Puba.
Who is this? What are we doing?
I'm just naming a couple artists. I just was, these guys are great artists, and a lot of people would be, would think so. That are 80s babies. You gotta understand. What you fail to realize, there are going to be a difference of opinion in somebody born in the 80s or late 70s than somebody's born in the 90s or mid 90s. It's a difference of opinion when it comes to music.
The place. The only music I hate is country music.
So do I. And I listen to country music. Some of the music I listen to is country music. I have no issue with country music. If the song is great, if it moves me, I'm a big fan of Alessia Cara. You know who Alessia Cara is? Come on, man. Her range, her voice is incredible. I'm a big fan. She's a pop star. Mm. She got a bunch of hits. We're
going to have to, next episode, we're going to break down our top 10 hip-hop, our top 10 groups.
We ain't going to do that.
I am.
We ain't gonna do that.
What you mean we ain't gonna do that?
You ain't gonna see it like it's a.
You're gonna have poo shiesty or something. So
you gonna have check that Laffy Taffy. Check that Laffy. If you gonna have that up there, we ain't gonna. Girl. If you listen to Laffy Taffy and that was a song you listened to, and you're not a woman, no.
Fable.
If you ain't a woman and you listen to Laffy Taffy, we are not the same. I'm sorry. They sound
great song.
One of the dumbest songs ever made.
Good times.
But it was. I mean, I'm not knocking those fellas for making their money.
I just brought that up with the conversation with him the other day because that's the first video I ever saw on YouTube that came out in like 2004.
But the people in my age group were grown-ups when that was the first video you watched. Mm-hmm. Most of us had kids. So, girl, shake that. Like, I can't even. No. It's hard for me. I'm sorry. I wish people could just comment, but it's hard. Shake that Laffy Taffy. Are you serious?
I didn't write the song.
No, but you liked it.
It was great.
I'm asleep.
It was a great time.
All right, wake me up. Big just came on. Notorious B.I.G. But if you're gonna listen to Laffy Taffy, it's a big difference. It's a difference from someone that listens to Laffy Taffy and doesn't that grew up in the 90s. I mean the 80s. It's a big difference. But you fail to realize because you think 90s hip hop was whack.
Trash.
You thought it was trash.
Trash.
And you just don't, because you're more focused on the production and the music, right?
Production value. Yes.
You're more focused on that. Hip hop didn't come off of that. That's not where hip hop came from. Hip hop came from actual lyrics and what the person was saying on the track. That's where it originated from.
But it's all Dr. Seuss like in the 80s and 90s.
No, it's not Dr. Seuss in the 90s. You said you couldn't even understand what Wu-Tang was saying. How was it Dr. Seuss if you couldn't understand what they were saying?
No, I said I couldn't listen to it because the production value is so low.
The RZA production value was so low.
At the time, yes. What are they? It's like sounds like they're making it out on like Garage Band with sticks.
You wasn't listening to the songs. You wasn't listening to the albums. There's no way you listen to the albums and you can say that.
Protect Your Neck. Even the best songs off of those.
Have you listened to the whole 36 Chambers album?
Hard to listen to.
For you, your opinion. Value. Your opinion.
Because I got spoiled on the future music.
You got spoiled from what you had.
I got spoiled on Kanye West.
You got spoiled on... No need to say anything else.
808.
No need to say anything else. You got spoiled on Kanye West.
Kanye West messed the game up for everybody with samples and production value.
I get it. I can't fight you no more. That's not an argument for me.
You disagree?
What?
That Kanye West did not change the music game.
Are you kidding me?
No. Not kidding at all.
Okay, no, I do not agree with you. Not at all.
So how did the game get to where it's at today? How did
evolution? There are several producers and things. There were things have changed from several different producers. Not just Kanye West. Not just Kanye West. There are several producers that if you want to talk about it evolving, if you want to talk about a producer, you talk Dr. Dre.
Even Dr. Dre stuff, it was advanced for its time, but it didn't have the depth in 808 changes like Kanye has.
But the thing is, when rap and hip hop first started, it wasn't about listening to the beat. It was about listening to what the person said on the song.
Yeah, it was the beat too. I mean, boom, bling, bling, bling.
You make a nice
bling,
beat,
bling,
but it wasn't necessarily about that. It was about and that's when you came up. That was in 2000.
Yeah. I'm
talking about the 90s. It wasn't about the beat. It was about what the person actually said on the vocal. That's why it was that person, not the beat person. Because if we talk about the person that made the beat, it wouldn't be named the Jay-Z album. It wouldn't be named that Outkast album.
That's why
a Mobb Deep album. It wouldn't be named these people's albums if it was about the beat. It was about what they were saying.
Timbaland and Kanye. Or not Timbaland and Jay-Z, because Jay-Z used Timbaland beats. But that's why I say Kanye changed the game. Kanye made his own beat.
Who didn't make their own beat?
Jay.
But he's not nowhere near a greater rapper as Jay.
Kanye ain't?
No way near.
I disagree.
No way close. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a difference in eras. Mm-hmm. There's a difference in eras. You were born 10 years after me, probably more, 12 to 15. There's a difference in eras. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a difference. We differ because of that. There's a difference in eras because the eras have a different way of thinking. Mm-hmm. You say Kanye ain't, but I don't know. I can't say that because even my son thinks Jay-Z is a way better rapper than Kanye. So it's hard for me to Say that. And my son's younger than you. So I can't really say that, but that's your opinion. You're entitled to that.
I'm not saying Jay's a bad rapper.
No, I know you. If you say that, you would be completely hating.
No, I like Jay, and I'll look up his live performances all the time. He's a better live performer than Kanye. I'll say that. But
because he's saying something on the track.
No, because he doesn't get jumbled up, and he can really spit his words well live.
Because he's saying something on the track versus a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
Kanye ain't mumbo jumbo like Migos.
So you're willing to admit Migos are mumbo jumbo?
Absolutely. Migos, Young Thug.
All of these rappers that are out now?
Most of them, yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you're willing to admit
mumbo
that.
Jumbo. I'll still listen to some of it, especially Slow Reverb.
Me too. You know, I listen to Thugga and
Everything Migos is hot. I
listen to some of these guys' songs, but you're talking about lyricism and where the hip hop culture originated from. Kanye is definitely not nowhere close. If you're talking about lyricism and where the hip hop industry came from before you were born, or the same year you were born.
I'll say this. If you take every artist by themselves, put them in a room, and they have to make their own music, they have to make a full album, a 15-track album, they have to make their own music, record it themselves, come up and write their own lyrics, and have it done in
Are you going to teach these people how to use the boards?
No, they have to know it.
That's not fair.
Musician. Are you a musician? Are you an artist?
That's not hip hop. That's not hip hop. That's not where it was. You had somebody to make the beat.
This one individual's skill set is so vast that he can do that by himself.
But his lyrics are terrible.
No. You take my the Twisted Fantasy album.
I don't wanna that type of shit.
No, the Twisted Fantasy album is beautiful. All the lights.
I've never heard of it. I mean, All of the Lights was one.
Power. Strong. No one man should have all that power. Stronger.
He had a couple songs on it.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get some music stuff going.
We're gonna talk about this music. Week. Tune in.
We're gonna have some stuff ready.
We're gonna have some stuff ready. Let's do it.
All right, I got some albums, like some vinyl albums in there that I'll show the people. We'll show some more shoes and stuff. But yep, that's our predictions for the NFC AFC, and we're looking to get the Super Bowl prediction for next episode too. So thanks you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.